What's going on, everyone? This is Shocker with Shocker Entertainment, and this is the Raw review for the Raw after Mania. Now, before we get into the show, go ahead and like the video if you want. Go ahead and comment and tell me what you thought of Raw, and subscribe to Shocker Entertainment for more wrestling. Let's go ahead and get into the review. We always know the crowd after Mania is crazy, and tonight was no different. The show started with Roman. Well, before Roman came out, the show started with the Undertaker package, and they showed him losing, and his retirement was pretty much what happened. And the crowd was chanting, "Thank you, Taker," for like 5 minutes. They just didn't stop. And then it slowly turned into, "Thank you, Taker, Roman sucks." And then Roman's music hit, and that crowd lost it. They booed him out of the arena, just like always. And, excuse me. And they started chanting "F you, Roman," which I couldn't believe. I'm like, man, it was cool, but I'm like, they didn't censor it. I know it's the crowd. They really can't censor what the crowd says. The crowd's there. They can say what they want. But I just like, man, that is crazy. But anyways, they chanted "F you, Roman," "Shut the F up," even though he didn't say anything. "Go away," "You suck," just everything. Every time he would get the mic close to his face, they just started booing so he couldn't talk, which was great. But that went on for a really long time. I thought it was good. It got some good heel heat for Roman. They need to turn him heel. If they don't, you're stupid, Vince. But Roman said one thing and left. He said, "This is my yard now," dropped the mic and left. Music hit. Crowd boos. They hate him. That's how the show started. If he's gonna go heel, then that was a great start to Raw. If he's gonna stay as a face, then that was just completely wasted. Next, we have a tag team championship rematch. Well, the club gets their rematch since they lost the titles at Wrestlemania last night against the returning Hardy Boys. Still awesome to see them back in the WWE. This match, the Hardys still got it, man. I mean, they're doing their thing in the match. I don't care what everybody says. I think they looked really good tonight on Raw. There's a bunch of delete chants going on in the match, like always. But they really can't. Apparently TNA has intellectual property or whatever it is. Since they kind of started the broken gimmick there, so they really can't use the broken gimmick in WWE yet. But I think they're going to be able to very soon. They're still doing shades of it, but they're not going all out, and I think they will soon because that gimmick's awesome, and there's definitely money with that, but it's really good to see the Hardys back. They defeated the club again, which I'm fine with that. The only thing I'm upset about is I think people are really hyped about the show, and they don't realize, hey, the club lost the rematch, and we found out there's a new number one contender. There's a new tag team who are number one contenders for the title later on in the show. So where's the club now? They're back to square one. I think people are overlooking that fact, and that kind of sucks because the club definitely belongs in the title picture unless they plan on doing something with the club and Finn Balor now that he is back on Monday Night Raw. But we'll talk about that later on in this review. That was a good match. Hardys retain. I liked it. I liked the way things went. Next we had Neville versus Mustafa Ali, and I've seen a little of Ali, but man, did he impress me in this match. It was a longer match than I thought it'd be, and it just goes to show that the cruiserweights are really, really, really good. I mean, all these guys are great. The Cruiserweight Classic was awesome. I think we can all agree on that. And this match was really good. Of course, Neville won by submission, but I think if this Ali guy could get a better gimmick, then he could be a serious contender. I saw that he is in a fatal 4-way for the number one contendership for the Cruiserweight Championship on 205 Live tomorrow night. But I really like this match. I want to see more from this guy after watching this match. I'm not going to lie, it was really good. Apparently there was a beach ball being thrown during this match, which kind of bothers me a little because this match was good in my opinion. But anyways, moving on from that match, Neville won. we had Vince McMahon coming to the ring. Oh man. The crowd sang his song, of course, just like they did last year after WrestleMania. And when he got to the ring, they started chanting "Roman sucks." They knew, they know. This was the fans telling Vince that they don't want him. And then Vince said, "Thanks for being the most passionate crowd in the world." Oh, listen to him, Vince. Come on, listen to him. They don't like the guy that you're in love with, so just do something different. Turn him heel. You gotta change some things up if you want people to like. I mean, people do like the product, but it's just something has to be done for it to be as good as it can be, because it has potential to be great right now. After we saw this Raw, I mean, the sky's the limit right now for WWE. Raw has been very lackluster since the draft, and now their roster is top notch. There's no way this should not be a great show. But Mr. McMahon went on to say that next week on Monday Night Raw, there's going to be a superstar shakeup, which I think it's like a draft. Maybe it won't be exactly like a draft, but superstars will be moved around to different brands, which that's always cool to see. It's pretty much all he said. He didn't really go into detail about how things are going to go. And apparently Stephanie is going to be out of action for a very long time after she took that bump at Mania going through the table. And Vince said the crowd was being very disrespectful when they cheered for her injury. And Mick Foley got fired, so we don't have a general manager. But Vince McMahon is here to announce a new general manager. And Teddy Long comes out. But it's not him. Because Vince McMahon said it's a Hall of Famer. And Teddy Long came out and then he's like, "Oh, it's not you." He leaves. And Kurt Angle is the new general manager of Monday Night Raw. How awesome is that? There's no time I don't want to see Kurt Angle in wrestling. Like, I love seeing that guy. It gets me pumped. It reminds me of when I watched him on SmackDown as a kid. I just love seeing this guy, and it's so good to see him back where he belongs, at his home in WWE. I cannot wait to see where they go with him as general manager. I think they can use him as a face right now, definitely, and maybe a heel in the future. Who knows? But I think this is a really good move by WWE to bring Kurt Angle in to be general manager of Monday Night Raw. I think a lot of people had kind of thought about that happening. I definitely did, but actually seeing it happen was awesome. Can't wait to see what they do there. Next, after Kurt Angle obviously came out, of course. But after that, we had a tag team match. The New Day came out saying they have an open challenge for anybody in the back who wants to come out. It took a while, and then the Revival's music hit. Oh my gosh, the pop was insane. Like, you thought the Enzo and Big Cass pop was insane last year? This pop for the Revival was just on another level. And the guys deserve it. We saw me and Rookie and my brother. We went to NXT Live last year. We saw them. We had front row seats. We saw those guys were awesome. They interacted with the crowd very well, and they're just two of the best. They're one of the best tag teams I've seen in WWE in a very long time. I really like their gimmick. No flips, just fists. They're just a throwback. A major throwback, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. It's something new in today's tag team wrestling. They pick up the win with the Shatter Machine, and they beat up Kofi really bad after the match. They just destroyed the New. What got a big pop was when they were still entering the ring. They pushed over the New Day's little ice cream thing, and the crowd popped for that, which I'm like, that's pretty cool, because they're like, nah, we ain't dealing with this. No flips, just fists. It was really great to see. With the Hardys coming back last night at Mania and the Revival debuting on Raw, the tag team division on Raw is legit. Okay, we got the Revival, the Hardys, the Club could be up there. They got to do something with the Club. They got to get them some wins. I know they lost the titles and they lost the rematch, but they got to do something with this. Also, we have Cesaro and Sheamus as a team, which I'm really liking them lately. I like this new entrance they got with the kilts and the suits. That's pretty cool. Cesaro and Sheamus are really doing it right now for me. I like what they're doing. They're getting better in the ring together. They're getting along now, and I really like how that angle turned out. I can say at first I was a critic of it, and now I'm like, well, I was wrong. I really like how this is going. Enzo, Big Cass, you know, they're always fun to watch. Fun to watch. They're always a fan favorite. So I can't complain about the Raw Tag Team division right now. No complaints from me about that, and it's getting better by the day. Backstage segment next after that tag team match. Enzo does his whole gimmick with Kurt Angle says, "My name is Enzo Amore." And, you know, he tells Kurt Angle all that. Kurt Angle's like, "Yeah, you're right. You can't teach that." I mean, it was really funny. And then he's like, well, they told Angle they wanted a number one contenders match, or they wanted a shot at the title, and he gave him a number one contenders match against Cesaro and Sheamus tonight. But they spelled out soft for Angle, and he said that for a minute. He's like, "That's not how you spell soft." it was really fun to see. Kurt Angle is hilarious. I can't wait for people who didn't get to see him, the younger generation who didn't get to see him toward the end of his WWE career, see him now. Definitely awesome to see Angle back again. I cannot say that enough. Angle is in my top 10 of all time. Awesome to see him back. Next, we had a women's tag team match. We have Bayley, Sasha, and Dana Brooke against Charlotte, Nia, and Emma. It's cool to see Emma back. She had a pretty cool thing she went over to the announce table. The crowd popped for her because Emma's actually a really good wrestler. They just kind of dropped the ball with her character, but I think she has a chance to get back up there, coming back with Emma, and not the whole Emmalina thing. That would have been so stupid, but thank God they kind of realized that shouldn't have been the way things go. Sasha, Dana, and Bayley actually won this match. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see the end of this match, so I really can't tell you what happened in the match. But they picked up the win. The faces won. After the match, though, Charlotte started pushing Emma and Jax, and they just demolished her in the ring. They just destroyed her. But that's how that ended. Really can't talk much about that. Didn't see the whole thing. We had a backstage segment next with Kurt Angle and Sami Zayn, and they had a match. They set up a match Angle set up a match between the two, for later on in the night. After we had that, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar come out to the ring. It was an awesome promo. Heyman told a bedtime story, and it was about how Goldberg was a hero, and Brock didn't care about any of the values like Goldberg had. He didn't care about him being a hero, and Goldberg went into Suplex City, and he won't ever be back on Raw again. And the crowd erupted with yes chants. It's clear that they may have liked Goldberg at first, but they did not want him as champion, and WWE made a mistake with that, and it turned the fans on Goldberg. I feel bad for Goldberg in a way, because he came back, he took a chance, and he came back, and the fans turned on him, kind of like the whole Batista thing. You kind of feel bad for him, but it's just the way he was booked. So you can't blame the fans for feeling that way. And Heyman went on to say that they wanted to fight Lesnar tonight, they wanted to fight Roman Reigns tonight. Lesnar versus Roman tonight on Raw. He said, "Why wait?" And then Braun Strowman's music hit. And then he said, "I see Roman Reigns has your attention." He said, "When I'm finished with Roman Reigns, maybe I'll have yours. Because Brock, you got my attention." Braun Strowman, man. Like, how awesome is it that he's improved like this? Like, how could you not support that? That's awesome. Yeah, he's a heel. You're supposed to boo him, whatever. But that is awesome that how much better he's gotten from looking back at the Wyatt family and how they were going to do Lesnar versus Strowman. Excuse me, I'm very tired, okay? If I make any mistakes, just let me know in the comments and correct me. but how they were gonna do Undertaker and Strowman last year, and the fans completely hated the idea. You know what? I would have loved to have saw that this year. Strowman is a prime example. If you work hard, you can get better. Although his promos are very short, they mean so much. The way he said his promo tonight was awesome. Like, you felt that. You're like, man, I feel like Strowman could give Lesnar a run for his money. They just got to keep pushing Strowman the way they have been. I think he should have won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, because if he wins that and then comes out the next night on Raw and says this, that means so much more. He would have had some momentum. He comes out, Lesnar, do I have your attention now? You know, that would have been so cool to see. Anyways, I think I'd definitely rather see Lesnar and Strowman than Lesnar and Reigns Part 2, because that didn't go over well the first time. So let's see something fresh. Strowman is, I think, definitely a much better competitor for Lesnar, because we haven't seen that dynamic. They could just beat the crap out of each other. It could be something really cool to see. Next on Raw, we had a backstage segment with Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho actually got beat up by Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. They just demolished him. Powerbombed him, all that. When I saw this, I'm like, okay, Finn Balor's coming back tonight. He's going to be Seth Rollins' partner in their tag team match. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier on. I might have. Like I said, I'm very tired. Chris Jericho, Seth Rollins are supposed to fight Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe in the main event tonight, but Chris Jericho got taken out by his opponents. So Seth Rollins has no partner, and Kurt Angle was like, "Don't worry, Seth, I will find you a partner." And I'm like, okay, oh yeah, I cannot wait, because I'm like, I know it's gonna be Finn. I just know it. After that, we had the number one contenders tag team championship match. And I don't know if the crowd was messing around. They were singing some Sheamus and Cesaro song the whole time. I'm pretty sure they were behind them, though. I don't know if they were joking, but they were behind them by the way they were reacting. I mean, you gotta love Enzo and Big Cass. But realistically, I can't see them as serious competitors. I just can't. I love seeing them. I love, the trash talk. But Cesaro and Sheamus, like I said, they're really getting it done right now. So I want to see them actually in the tag team championship picture. And they won tonight. They won the number one contenders match. After Enzo and Big Cass asked for it, they lost it. And now Cesaro and Sheamus are going on to face the Hardys at, I'm guessing, Payback. They're facing them at Payback. Can't wait for that match. We've never seen those four guys in the same ring. I mean, we saw them at Mania, but in a normal tag team match, that's never happened. So that's something new for us to see. Next, we had Sami Zayn beating Jinder Mahal, and Jinder Mahal attacked Zayn before the match. It wasn't really much to this match. Zayn did a haluva kick near the end, and that was kind of it. I don't hate Jinder Mahal. Like, he doesn't really do anything on Raw other than be in these random matches. I love Sami Zayn. I wish they'd do something cool with him, because he's one of my favorites. I think he's going to be on Raw he's going to be on SmackDown next Tuesday. With the Superstar shakeup they're doing, I definitely think Sami Zayn will be on SmackDown, and I think he could really shine there. I see him going after the IC title. Ambrose isn't doing anything for it, but we'll talk about that if Zayn does go to SmackDown. Finally, it's time for our main event of the Monday Night Raw. After Mania, Seth Rollins and a mystery partner versus Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe come out first, obviously. Seth Rollins comes out, and his partner hasn't come out yet, and then Finn Balor's music hits, and the crowd pops. They knew it was coming. They were already chanting Finn, Finn, Finn. We knew it was coming, but it's one of those moments it's predictable, but you're so glad to see Finn Balor back. I know I am. Finn Balor, from what I've seen of him, has been awesome. I've seen his New Japan stuff, not all of it, but a lot of it. Definitely saw all of his NXT matches, went to an NXT live show, like I said, saw him in the main event of that night. Love Finn Balor so glad he's back. When he got hurt, I was so disappointed because him and Rollins put on a good match, and what happened wasn't really anybody's fault. Those things happen in wrestling. You can't blame it on one guy or the other. But he's back now. It was a good tag team match. Everybody in this match is great. Finn Balor's awesome. Seth's awesome. Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe are both awesome. It was a really good tag team match. It ended with Seth and Finn getting the pin after Finn did the coup de grace to Kevin Owens. Awesome. I loved it. I miss seeing that, man. I miss seeing Finn doing the drop kicks. I love Finn's drop kick. I love the sling blade. I just love seeing Finn in action. Can't wait to see what they do with him. He does deserve a Universal Championship match. I will say that. They need to address that pretty soon because he is first in line. I think he never lost it. He deserves the Universal Championship or at least a shot at it. And that's the end of the show tonight. The show ends with Rollins and Finn celebrating in the ring. And this Raw was good. Last year after Mania, just it was okay. But this year was awesome. Okay, I know the crowd's always wild the night after Mania, but tonight they were extremely wild, but they weren't all about themselves. They were into the show. They were chanting things that had to do with the show. And it's better when they do that instead of trying to put themselves over. Instead of saying, we are awesome. You know, that was cool the first time, but don't try to make the show about you. Get involved with the show. And it's so much funner that way. It's so much funner for the viewer at home. Because they're not making the show a joke. They didn't really hijack the show. Because you knew Reigns was going to get booed if they were with the Raw after Mania crowd or not. He was going to get booed, but not as bad as he did. But I'm going to give this Raw an A. Like, it was awesome. I loved everything that happened. I really can't complain about anything that happened. The ending was great. Loved seeing Angle being introduced as the general manager. I think that was probably the highlight. Oh, man. Now I'm thinking, well, maybe the Revival was a highlight. There's just so many cool things happening on the show. We had the Revival debut. Kurt Angle introduced as a general manager, and Finn Balor returned. Like, awesome. And I think adding Angle to Raw will make Raw better every week because I think he can really help out the show. More star power to the show. I know Mick Foley is a legend himself, but Kurt Angle, I think it's something fresh. We haven't seen him in WWE in years. Let's see where they take Raw in the future. I'm excited for it. I haven't been this excited to watch Monday Night Raw in a long time, but I'm already looking forward to next week. Let me know what you thought about Raw, guys. Go ahead and like this video. If you like this review, comment. Like I said, let us know what you thought about Raw. What was your favorite moment in the show? And subscribe to Shocker Entertainment. We're going to have these videos coming out all the time. Every day, wrestling all the time. This has been Shocker for Shocker Entertainment, and we will see you on the next one.